phone is connected and charging.
Perfect song for Tim. Exactly right. For a lot of them. There's organizations that will take you and help you. And like he said, they'll help you get clean. But when that's not what you want, you won't go. Shout out to Lisa. I finally heard the voicemails between her and Miss D, it was mostly voice messages sent by Lisa. But for anybody who wants to say, oh, she's not lying, she really needs help, you guys are bullying her, look at how she treats the people who help her on a regular basis. And Miss D, I really hope that for your sake, you realize that she never appreciated you. She only appreciated your money. But anyway, let's not pre-talk anybody. Let's see, who do we want to start with? Oh! Let's start with Amanda. Because Amanda... Oh, I changed the photo so everybody liked the live until you feel the heart's tail, and then you can take a break. And if you want to tap again later, tap again later. I don't care about the number at the end. The only thing I care about is that we're able to keep the live. We don't have to restart or go somewhere else. And the second reason is so we end up with White Sox. Please find somewhere to go. Thank you. Please find somewhere to go. Let me help you. There you go. Right there. Stay right there, buddy. Stay right there. Yeah, White Sox had to make an appearance. Are you saying good morning to the people? Here he comes again, guys. Say good morning. You cannot lay on me right now. I love you. I love you to death. Oh, I know what I could do. So there's, I think, a wonderful update on Amanda. I have to start with her because she is what started my TikTok live career. And when I saw her come on yesterday, I was excited and nervous. Excited because she has been gone for so long. I was like, hopefully she's gotten her life in order. And nervous that she was coming back and doing the Chef Carl. Yeah, he wants to be part of the fun, all right. So, she came back, and at first, all I saw was the ground, and that made me, it wasn't on her, and that made me a little bit nervous. But then she turned around. She looks good. She looks healthy. She says she's gotten herself together. And I'm happy for her. And I want her to know she can unblock digital, because as long as you are doing well and you're not on TikTok begging for money, I don't have anything to say about you. Not a single thing. If you start begging again, I will. But as long as you are handling business, taking care of yourself, you found yourself in a good situation, and you're happy, To me, the next thing you should be doing is working on getting to spend more time with your children. And if TikTok is going to interfere with that, then let TikTok go, just like you did. But it seems like she's going to come back because she posted yesterday that she would be back. Good morning for anybody coming in. So that's the update. Again, let me make it very clear. I am happy for her. She says she's doing well. And as long as she's doing well and not begging on TikTok, we can have a great relationship. I'll like your live, support your live. I'll do it all. And I hope that other people are willing to give her the opportunity to come back and be the Amanda we knew she could be. We can't ask people to get their life together and then when they do, tease them, drag them down. Like, no. We can't do that. Because that's not who we are. Right? We just want to see people move on from begging on TikTok or any social media. We want people who are willing to take care of themselves, take responsibility, and move on. And then so can we. So, I hope it all works out. Right's right. While you may be 100% correct, I only go off of what I see and what I hear them say. So if she doesn't beg here, what I'm supposed to go? Well, her town's Facebook page is very illuminating. We'll find out. We'll find out. By the way, if you're a member of the team, hit the Daily Heart Me. If not, stick around. See if you like what you hear. Then join the team. Okay, update out the way. I haven't talked about her in a minute. But she just keeps getting worse. Sorry guys, when you hear me pause, I'm drinking coffee because I'm trying to drink it while it's hot. I'm not really a fan of iced coffee, although I do like coffee ice cream. It's weird. Yes, please tap the screen. Good morning. So, I've talked about her several times, and she called me a disgusting human being, right? But apparently, she thought it would be cool to do a rage bait saying that her 12-year-old daughter was pregnant. And for some reason, people felt like she said there were 4 men that could be the potential father. Yep. 12. Again, there are a million things you could do rage bait about that is not that controversial. On Monday, we'll be doing a Raising the Consciousness about rage bait, what it is the purpose, what people like that hope to gain from it, and then the destructive power of rage bait. It's not clickbait. It's different than clickbait. And I'll make sure that I explain that. But there was a destructive power to rage bait. And the thing that gets me is, in that scenario, she comes live and people are outraged, of course. And she's like, you guys are so stupid. And people in her comment section are like, you got, why are you guys so obsessed? And blah. And I'm like, because people don't realize she's lying. And somebody said to me, they can't read. I'm sorry. Why is it the responsibility of the viewer to have to go through her long behind hashtags to see the word rage bait or fake? But then when you go live, you don't even say, guys, it's just rage bait. Y'all don't have to be upset. Or I'm just kidding. Or I just do it for views. And somebody was like, you do it for money. And she was like, that's the point. That's the point. And so anytime I happen to go by there, see it, whatever, on a burner, because of course I'm blocked. For what reason? You lie to the people in your in that follow you, as if something like that would even be funny. And that's part of the destructiveness of rage bait. You could talk about how you thought you were taking NyQuil for day, and you took the night one, and you forgot to get up in time to go pick up your kid from school. Like, there are a million things you could do for rage bait. But to tell the world that your 12-year-old daughter is pregnant. And so people are trying to figure it out, and they're like, can we see your daughter? And she's like, no, you can't see my daughter. Why don't you just say, guys, it's not true, calm down. She loves the attention. She loves the traffic. Cause let's be clear, if she told everybody multiple times, because it would take multiple times. She goes live all day now because her rage bait content, it can no longer be monetized. So now she goes live, and she'll be live all day long. Because that's where she's getting her money from now. Like you said, she wants to be another Gabby. That's rage bait. That's rage bait. She doesn't want to be Gabby. But she wants people to think that she wants to be, because she doesn't even want Gabby's audience. What she wants is the people who can't stand Gabby to start talking about her, so that she has something else. And then people are going to want to go see what it's all about. Rattle. It's all for money for her. Right. Anything for the views. And I'm sorry, but where's the moral compass? And part of my concern is that very quickly, when what she starts to say now fails to work, like when enough people figure it out and they stop paying her any attention at all, where will she go next? Because let's be clear. Naya, hold on, baby. I realize you want to talk about her, but I have to finish my commentary. or else we'll be here till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you can stick around, please do. How low will she go to maintain this level of viewership? Because she said that she makes enough money to equate to her working 50 hours a week. Now, again, she's such a liar. Who knows if that's true or not? Lori, no, I don't. But if she's saying that it's the equivalent of working 50 hours a week, that's a lot of money. She is doing satire, but satire gives it a nice name. Makes it sound like, oh, we're just having a little bit of fun over here. It's not satire, it's rage bait. It means technically the same thing, but rage bait has a very destructive underbelly. Satire sounds like, oh, she's just having a good time. So when people are like, it's satire, it makes people feel like, oh, okay, she's just having fun. But what about the 12-year-old? What about the mom of the 12-year-old that is pregnant? What about the 12-year-old that is pregnant? Because that's not something to even do satire about. Who is touching your daughter that she's pregnant at 12? And where were you? Now, don't get me wrong. I was abused. My parents was right there. I was just too afraid to say something. But when I finally did confess, my mother asked me, did it happen on a particular day? And I was like, yes. And she said, I knew something was wrong. I kept asking you if you were okay. And you kept saying yes. She's like, but you did not leave my side. And after a couple of summers, my mother stopped letting me go. It was just a feeling. I never said a word. And this was with family. This wasn't even with, like, friends. Lily, I agree. Lily, I agree 110%. Yes, she has been banned before. And she had to switch to live to get money and gifts and everything else. Because, like I said, TikTok changed their payment structure. Why should she make all this money by not only lying to her audience, but then even when she's live, she just rails at the people who have stuff to say. But I'm a disgusting human being for talking about it? Yeah, some things aren't funny. And I don't even think she needs the money to live. Her man works. I think she found a niche. She was able to get popular off of it. Then she was able to earn a lot of money based on it. And she doesn't want to let it go. She doesn't want to let it go. I don't even know if this isn't even her at anymore. Sorry. That's not even her at anymore. It's like, oh goodness, what is it? Oh. I can't think of it. I'm sorry, guys. Good morning. Good morning for anybody coming in. And so what I'm hoping is that what happened to the girl who convinced that a homeless woman to jump in the lake to pay her $20 and then left her in the lake, or she was also the one who got braids. She got Fulani braids and then tried to say that Vikings created braids. They created Viking braids, not Fulani braids. She lost her big account and was crying outside of TikTok. But Mama C isn't quite that big. I hope she loses her account. Now, she'll just create another one and do the same thing. But with each time, they lose a following. Hey, Jamie Smith. So please, if you end up in her live, just tell everybody it's rage bait. That while I'm in there for the 2 or 3 minutes I'm there, I'm like, this is all rage bait. This is all rage bait. She's lying. None of this is true. And I've had several people at me like, for real? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Yes, it's all a lie. So if me exposing the fact that you're rage bait, which you claim you make clear to everybody, makes me a disgusting human being, I accept it with honor. I accept it with honor. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Granny Annie. Anybody who's new here, gifts are not expected. They are appreciated. And I share them with other people doing the good work. But thank you. Oh, I didn't do this before, and I usually try to do it. So who we're going to talk about today is Nate, Spread Love Not Hate, of course TNA, Tim, we've already done Amanda, Mama C, we've already done Asia, and of course Lisa R, because I heard those voicemails. Okay, let's see. Let's do Nate. I've watched him a few times. And I know that anybody who's watched me for a while knows that I absolutely abhor people wrapping themselves in a blanket of God and Scripture and Jesus while they beg. I can't stand it. Because it's very easy to quote Scripture that encourages people to give to you while avoiding Scripture that says that you need to work harder. And the work harder doesn't mean get on TikTok and beg. It doesn't mean using your little daughter to sing religious songs so that people gift you for her doing that. Now, if your daughter, you say your daughter loves the Lord and she wants to sing and people send gifts, cool. Why is your Cash App there? I'm sorry, I missed the... Oh, okay. Why? So on this particular day, I went in as digital deceivers because when I end the live, that's the account I'm on. So after I take a nap and I wake up, that's the account I'm on, and I'm literally just scrolling TikTok. I'm not looking for anybody in particular. I'm just scrolling. And I end up in his live again as digital. He sees me and blocks me immediately. And y'all know how I feel about that. Digital could go in 1,000 accounts and not get blocked. But the moment she ends up in a scammer's account, blocked immediately. Blocked him. I don't even get a chance to say hello. Blocked immediately. Which tells you that they've either heard of me and what I do, or they read my name and know that they are the digital deceiver that I'm a shadow of. As if blocking me is going to make any difference whatsoever. All it does is turn the spidey senses all the way up. What you blocking me for? I've never spoken about you. You've never seen me in here before, because I was always in there under a burner. And the first thing you do is block me? Well, thank you very much. Quoting the Bible. So this is what he said. He said, the Lord put it on his heart to beg on TikTok. And I said, why hasn't he put it on your heart to work harder and take care of yourself and your family? And what he also said was that he wanted God to put it on the audience's heart to send in. Then he was like, anytime you're being persecuted, you know that it's right before a blessing. First of all, who is persecuting you? Because guess how you could end the persecution if that's... Wait, anytime you go in a box, you are kind of honest. Granny, I try to be, because why do I need to be anything else? Right, cherry picking from the word. But you want to know what? If you feel like you're being persecuted, turn the app off. Like, I love how they act like they have to be here. You want it to stop? You stop. Turn the app off. But why use the Bible to manipulate people? A lot of people trust in the word. And when they hear statements like that and they know the scriptures he's quoting, they think, he's right. And he must need it more than me. And I want to be blessed. Because he actually, somebody actually gave him some money and he said a prayer. And then was like, thank you for, putting it on their heart to bless me. And I'd like you to bless them tenfold. Oh, so we only get a blessing tenfold if we give in? That's not what the Bible says. That's not how it works. But it's all manipulation, which is why as soon as he saw my name, he blocked me. Because he knew. Then he said, I don't do this every day, only when God puts it on my heart. And I said, you sound like a snake oil salesman. Then he said, if he gets any money, it goes to his kids. Sir, get another job. It does sound like a TV evangelist. God put it on my heart to tell you that you guys need to take care of the pastor better. The pastor needs $100,000. And we're going to lock the doors until we get it. And then he told the pastors on the stage that the $20 for people in the audience, they need to give up $200. That was recently, by the way. That was a black pastor recently. And you wonder why people have walked away from the church, walked away from religion, where you got to turn in your tax returns to make sure that you're fulfilling your obligation. Whereas you're leaving the church, when you get there and leaving, there's ATMs in your face. Because we're not going to have any incident where you don't have any money to give. That's hilarious, Jenny. And then I just went on a tirade in my notes. I was like, nobody's persecuting you for your beliefs. And then I said, I'm coming for you because you're using God as a part of your scam. And then I started quoting scripture. Matthew 12, by your own words you will be condemned. Matthew 17, Jesus said your words are going to cause them to stumble. And he paid the required tax. Even though he said as a son of God, I don't need to pay human tax. Give to Caesar what Caesar demands and give to God what God demands. He doesn't say you get to bystep your responsibilities here on earth because you're in service of God. Luke 12, he said, watch out for the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. And the Pharisees were one of the highest religious groups. The Pharisees and the Sadducees. One believed in the resurrection, the other didn't. But Jesus said, even though they were top of the rung, they were hypocrisy because they concealed their wickedness with a show of piety. But they were dangerous and needed to be exposed. That's you, Nate. That's you. You want to quote the Bible and pray and act like you're such a religious man that serves God. You need to be exposed, and that's what I'm doing. Do we not remember when Jesus went in the temple and he flipped over those tables with money on it? Because they were using the Lord's house to take advantage of those coming to the temple. Now we have TikTok. So as long as you're on that nonsense, I'll meet you exactly where you are. I can't stand that. And then you have people in there, oh, he's right. He's talking about the Lord. He's praying. You know who knows the Bible almost as well as Jesus? The devil. Okay? The devil knows the Bible almost as well as Jesus. Y'all gotta stop believing everybody who says that they're a part of the word and they serve God and this, that, and the third. Just because they say it and they can quote some scripture and they can pray doesn't mean that they're not in it for the scam of it all. And they learn it from leaders. They watch them live in $1 million homes where half their congregation is on food stamps. Correct, Erica. Correct. He wasn't there as long as Jesus, but he was there for a long time. He knew what was what. He knew what to say. Now I realize there's a lot of people who may be here who have no religious affiliation whatsoever. They don't want anything to do with it, and I respect that. I have a problem with people who are using TikTok and God and the Bible to take advantage of other people who may be a believer. And all I'm trying to do is expose the nonsense. So forgive me while I go on that kind of a tirade. Because I can't stand it. I guess it's psychotic. Agreed. Agreed. That's facts. A scam is a scam. That's facts. Let's go to somebody else I've been watching for a little while. I don't even know her name. Don't care to know. But I've watched her several times. And my problem is that when she's up, she's bold and brash and braggadocious and look at me, look at me, look at me. And 5 minutes later, she's sad and upset, and we don't have food. And I went to my mom's house, and she doesn't have any food either, and the rent is due, but I have the rent money. So, what? Yes, please tap. We've changed the photo. When you start tapping, you see the heart. When you keep tapping, you see the heart's tail. Fill it. It's 85 clicks. And then take a break. And then do it again whenever you feel like it. So she started off, my thing is this. If you didn't want money, why you come on TikTok looking sad and disheveled and upset? You're stressed out. Why do you come to TikTok with it? She told chat not to worry about her being down, but she hasn't eaten. Now, she said she was depressed, and I don't play about that. It's a real thing. And depression can lead you down some very, very, very dark roads. No question. And if you say that because of your depression you haven't eaten, I get it. It makes you not want to do anything. You want to stay curled up in a bed in the fetal position and tell the whole world to go away. But that's not what she did. She said she was going through a lot and that there was no food in the house. And she went to her mom's house because she thought there would be food, and there's no food. But then she added this. And one of the younger kids in her household has a birthday coming up in a couple of days, and she doesn't have what she needs for that. And then we heard she's so depressed that she can't even battle. Excuse me? You're so depressed that you can't battle? That's not real depression. I'm sorry. You just don't feel like it. That's not depression. That's not depression, my dear. I want you just to give me the money, and I don't want to have to do anything for it. That's not depression. Correct, Michelle. You know when your children's birthday parties are every year. The day you had them is the day you knew when their birthdays would be every single year. But I have told y'all, and I haven't talked about this in such a long time. For those who have been around, y'all will remember this. I did a Raising the Consciousness, and maybe I should do it again, about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And when he did a study, he came up with this level starting at the bottom that explained our needs as time, like through time, right? So the bottom are the basic needs that everybody has, no matter where in the world they live, no matter their economic circumstances, no matter their family structure. It's having air, water, food, the very basics of life, just to live. And the reason why these scammers use those basics of life, like I'm hungry and I'm not eating, because all of us know what it feels like to be hungry. We all know what it's like to be thirsty. We all know what it's like to be cold. We all know what it's like to be hot. So when they use those things, they speak to our basic understanding of life. If they said, other than Maggie, that they want a luxury cruise to the Bahamas, we would be like, you better go work for it. But if they say I'm hungry, there's no food, there's not going to be any food for days, even though we know as human beings, as long as you have access to water, you can go many days without eating. We know what it's like to be hungry. We don't want that for somebody else. And our hunger may have been just circumstantial, like we're on a road trip and we're waiting to get home to eat. Or we have school all day, or after lunch we had to work late, so we weren't able to get dinner, and so we were hungry. Like, there's a million circumstances, but we all know the hunger feeling. So that's why she said it first. Because if she had started out with, there's a birthday party, hey, all for one, there's rent, people would be like, well, you better do what you got to do to get what you need. But no, we start with I'm hungry and I haven't eaten. And then I'm going to add in my mother has no food either. Now, people who are just listening to this without, what's the word I'm looking for? Without the level of scrutiny that I do, they just hear it and think, oh, I'm sad. I feel bad for her and her mom. Oh my God, her mom doesn't even have any food? And I'm like, I'm going to write it down. And then it was at my birthday party. My child has a birthday party. I'm too depressed to battle. Work is slow. And I'm pregnant and hungry. Ma'am, if you don't have enough money to feed yourself, if your mom doesn't have enough resources to feed herself, what are you doing pregnant? You're not 18, 19, 20, 25. According to her, she's pregnant. You are old enough to know better. You are old enough to protect yourself. Now, I'm not suggesting that she get an abortion, not by any means. But if you don't want to be pregnant, if you don't, according to her, she has rent to pay. If it's not in your financial best interest to bring another child in the world, why are you pregnant? Then, of course, is stop judging other people's life. Excuse me? We can't judge your life, but you could check for our wallets and what we have to give you. Oh, I know she's been doing for a long time. That's why I didn't label her as a bolo. But I tried to talk mainly about what I've heard and seen myself, not what everybody else has said. I'm not sure. But I saw her with two boys, but I'm not sure if they were her kids or not. She has 5 kids and she's pregnant. Be for real. So you may see these two on my lineup because I am definitely checking for them. Because, like I said, other times I've seen her, it's been braggadocious. Look at what we're drinking. Look at where we're at. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Look at me. Don't you want my life? But you're too depressed to battle now. She would ask for $5 or $10 every morning. Oh, I don't know. Is that somebody in here? Hey, disturbed one. Good morning. Well, we'll see. We'll be watching. Hold on. I need to say something else. It's a caveat. Hold on. Uh... So I just need to say this. She's not on the lineup today, but she keeps bringing me up. And I just need to make some corrections, Jalen. Because you keep running to somebody as if they're going to do something to me, about me, to make me stop talking about you. Nobody can do that. However, what I want to say is this. I do not stream you or anybody else. So please stop telling that lie. That's not what I do. I respect other people who do it. But your picture being up here is not me streaming you. Okay? It's a still photograph. I'm not sure if you don't understand the difference, but let me make it very clear. I don't stream you or anybody else on this app. I never have. It's not my thing. I like to listen for myself, take notes. Hold on. TikTok would stop my rant with the puzzle piece. But that's all I do. You can stop running to people and telling them that I'm streaming you, that I'm being mean to you, and all of the such. I am not. I strictly talk about what I see and hear for myself. If you are embarrassed by the things that I point out, stop doing them, and then you don't got to worry about being embarrassed. Because that's all I do. I don't go real life. I don't try to track down your kids and talk to them. I don't try to find your ex. I don't do any of that. So please stop lying about me. I'm sorry you don't like what I have to say in my commentary, but that's life, boo. We have free speech. And what you do is, what I do falls under the fair use doctrine, okay? So stop running to people about me. Stop calling me a bully. Like, stop it. It's none of that. But stop lying that I stream you, because I do not. Not you or anybody else. Sorry, that was just a little cat. And if you'd like to talk about it, you're not blocked here. You are welcome to come and we can talk about it. We could talk about it. And the people in her comments talking about people are jealous of what exactly? What is there to be jealous of her life? That she has a bunch of sycophants in her comment section that send her money and pay for her everything? Let me tell you why we're not jealous of that. Because inevitably, it all comes to an end at some point. It all comes to an end. And then what is she going to do? I'd rather be self-sufficient. I'd rather be taking care of myself. So, jealous where? Of what? Okay. Just had to make that little caveat. What did you say? Wait a minute. Why can't she work? I don't know. And what's so crazy about it is that I had said on several occasions that I've watched her, I haven't seen the beg, so I don't talk about her. I have to see it for myself. I don't take anybody else's word for it. Now, they may pique my interest. They may be like, you need to go watch such and such. But I don't talk about it until I see it. And when I saw it, I talked about it. So, you don't like what I'm saying? Stop doing it. And then you don't got to worry about hearing my mouth ever again. But you're not going to silence me. Not going to happen. The story on her will be quick. Because it is literally wash, rinse, and repeat. The thing that I do not like, and I want to make very clear, sorry guys, I'm looking for my note. The thing that I don't like, that I want to make explicitly clear, however, is that the idea that she has the right to expect it is ridiculous. Her blocking people because she quote unquote says they stare at them. She almost doesn't even care if you do likes or not, because all she wants is money. So you know how a lot of them be like, I appreciate the likes, it brings other people in here who may be able to help. Not Miss Asia. Asia would be glad to have 5 people in that room as long as 4 of them are taking care of her life. And I think she's becoming more desperate because the money she got from that lady is running out. And I think what's happening is she has to check out every day, beg until she gets the money and check back in, or she doesn't get the hotel room. But she was angry yesterday because nobody would send her breakfast. And of course she claims she had an interview, which if she did, great, fine, wonderful. But there's no humility. It is all done with expectation, with rudeness, with crassness. This isn't the booming 80s, baby. Or what? Yeah, the 80s. Everybody is struggling, except for the very wealthy. Even the people who give you money aren't the rich people on this app. They are regular, degular people who feel bad for you, so they help you. You think the woman that gave you $500 couldn't have used it for something better than taking care of you, for you to turn around and get your hair braided and your nails done? And let me be clear about something. Even if she quote unquote had a family member do it for free, the hair costs money, the nails cost money. Did she give you money and explicitly say, hey, go get your hair and nails done? I bet she didn't. It's the audacity for me. It's the anger, the dismissiveness. It's like one adjective after another that says that not only is she mean and nasty, but she's unappreciative and ungrateful. Yes, she will say when somebody sends her something, thanks. But she don't give a crap if you sent her something yesterday if you're not sending her something today. So I don't see a lot of people putting pressure. I don't see a lot of people. Karina, my dear, we are talking about scammers, not about an alligator. Let's keep it strictly to what we talking about. Like, that's throwing people off. So I feel like it's time for more people to put pressure on her to get off of here. She's been using the same lines, the same stories for as long as she's been on this app. She's had multiple jobs, and why can't she keep them? Because it's easier to get on here and beg. No, she doesn't have some outrageous life that anybody would want. But she doesn't have to ever worry about her basic needs because she can just be mean enough on this app and get them taken care of. But she's young and able-bodied. If she does have food stamps, girl, there will be a work requirement soon. Well, Miss Coffee, she claims that her grandmother kicked her out because her grandmother preferred alcohol over her. Okay, Asia. You claim you did so much for your grandmother. How come you can't do it for yourself? Good morning. Good morning to anybody just coming in. Do me a favor, if you're a member of the team, hit the daily heart me. If you are not, stick around. If you like what you hear, give me a follow. Join the team. I would appreciate it. I am doing well. The man is back at work, thankfully. Oh, thank you. You could be cleaning, taking your kids to school, laying in bed. It doesn't matter to me. Not at all. Oh, we can do this. We might end early, y'all. Yes, Creole. She's ridiculous. Oh, no. Okay, let me keep my mouth shut. Thank you, Karina. Okay, let's talk about this and get it out the damn way. So I finally got to see the voice messages or the voice text that she was sending Miss D. I think I saw it on Nookie's YouTube. When it comes to certain people, you can definitely, Nikki, like Lisa and Gabby, he's got it. Go watch it on his YouTube. I think it's Nikki 5150. And then Scam Slam, what I like about the way she does it is that she has them categorized so that if you just want to see Lisa videos, you have to go to that playlist and that's all you'll see. So if you need to catch up on somebody that she's following and recording, go over there. I think I can. Is it Scam Slam 412? I can't remember. But yes, please tap until you feel the heart's tail because we've changed the photo. So, what is there to say about Lisa? I have told y'all time and time again. Like, we all knew she was a scammer. We all knew she was a manipulator. We all knew that food and smokes was code word for rugs. We knew all of that. But the thing that she did that I think went from she's just an addict to she's a bad person was when she sang the Jay-Z lyric about being a hustler. Because that is an acknowledgement that you get on this app, you do and you say and you act any way you need to get what you want. And that you find absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I told y'all a few days ago, there are people who are raised to be on the take. If somebody's going to give it to you, take it. If you can steal it and get away with it, that's cool. I don't know if I ever told y'all this story, but I was dating this guy one time. And every time we would go to McDonald's, I would be like, do you want something? And he would be like, no. If I was paying. Even if he was paying, he would be like, order what you want. And I'd be like, you're not going to get anything? He'll be like, order what you want. And then we would get to the window, and he would be like, hey, can I speak to a manager? And the first time he did this, I was dumbfounded. Like, a manager for what? And he would be like, yesterday I came here and I ordered a Big Mac and a large fry, and they didn't put it in the bag. And at the time, I don't know if it's still now, but at the time, McDonald's would just give it to you. Because it was easier to just give it to you and let you move on than to have a big, huge argument about it. And he did it every time we went to a drive-thru. And like I told y'all, I follow the rules. Like, you tell me to go left in the line, I'm going to go left. I may question some things if I don't think that they're right, but for the most part, I'm a rule follower. Like, if the food costs $10, if I don't have $10, I'm not ordering the food. I'm not going to make up some excuse about why you need to still give it to me. Anyway, it happened a few times, and we were finally with his mom, and I was like, do you know every time we go to a drive-thru, he asks for food he didn't ever pay for? And this was her response to me. Her response to me was, this is how I get fries every time I go. I sat there stunned. Because I realized that he got this growing up. Like, they are okay with taking from people that they didn't pay for. And his mom, of all people, not only condone it, but does it herself. And when I tell you guys these stories, I promise you, hand to God, I do not make them up to fit the situation. I was stunned. Yeah, I think you probably do now have to have a receipt. But back then, I was stunned. And wait a minute, let me be clear about something. I was in my 30s when that happened. I was in my 30s when that happened. So we're not like 18, 19 years old. We were, and he was older than me. He was older than me. Taking bear, you were. I was embarrassed. Like I would like turn my head the other way. Like I don't want you to see my face and associate me with this. But he was bad. When I found out that that's how his mother got fries every time she went through a drive-through, I literally was like, I can't expect anything else from him. But think about that generational curse. And I'm sure he showed his kids how to do that. Thank God I didn't have any kids with him. But like to always be on the take. And I'm not saying Lisa was raised to be on the take, but the lifestyle she ended up choosing requires that you always be on the lookout for how you can get more. If a Didi makes a mistake, you going back and being like, oh, you gave me a little too much? Nah. They be like, well, he was stupid. But what they hope is that he doesn't figure it out. Learned behavior is a great way to say it. What I am glad for is that it seems like her youngest had a moral compass better than his mother. But who knows what that would be if he stayed with her longer. Good morning. So, I still, to this moment, I am happy that Miss D was able to walk away. Hopefully she stayed, walked away. How many times did Lisa lie to her about rehab? Lie to her about being stabbed? Lie to her about going to the clinic? Like, and you kept giving her money. Like, she would interrupt your meetings. She would call you late at night. And I think you may have kept giving, thinking that, okay, this'll be it, this'll be it, this'll be it. But you had developed such a fondness for her that telling her, like, you didn't want to see her not have food. You clearly weren't coming over here and watching me, because I said months ago that food and smokes is code word for rugs. But if you guys ever happen to come across someone who's giving her money, as angry as we want to be at them because they don't see it the way we do, please be kind. The only person that I hold no sympathy for is Kim R. And I truly believe that she's still giving her money. I truly believe she's still giving her money. I don't know if it's her entertainment. I don't know if it's because they're in the same lifestyle. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you feel like your popularity is tied to hers, so that if she goes away and gets clean, what will you have left? I don't know. White Sox, go back to sleep, buddy. Please go back to sleep. Okay, good. Whatever it is, this isn't going to end well. This isn't going to end well. I've held out hope for a long time. But if the people giving her money now don't see it for what it is, they're never going to see it for what it is. Thank you, Jill. Yeah, White Sox making an appearance. He went to go eat, thankfully. But he had to walk by here to do it. Mind you, he could have just jumped down and got it. No, he had to walk by the phone. This isn't going to end well for her. I think they sent that to prove that she was still going to come on here and ask for food for money because, I'm sorry, money for food, because she can't come on here and say, I need my DOC. Now, if she gets desperate enough, she will say it. I have no doubt in my mind that Lisa will be like, okay, you guys know what I'm doing. But she's holding that out for the people who actually want to believe that she's clean and she just needs this assistance. What also cracks me up, though, is that they feel like they're the only one doing it. They don't understand that they're getting money from other people. So they feel on the hook. While she's getting money from 2 or 3 people 2 or 3 times a day. Exactly. Let me tell you something. When Lisa is like, now her new thing is, I'm going to come back when I get money. Because what we all knew was that if she left because she got money. So now she thinks she's smart enough to confuse us into believing that if she gets money, she'll come back. No, boo-boo, that's never what it's been, and it's not that now. You leave when you get money. Because what's funny is, anytime she does come back, does she say, well, I got the money last time, so I'm back? No. She always says, I'm still hungry, I haven't eaten in 3,000 days, and I still need, and blah, blah, blah. And every once in a while, she'll embellish. She'll be, oh, she needs a smoke, and this, that, and the third. But did you hear in the thing where she said that she's able to charge her phone at Hanini's? And that one time she overslept, you mean nodded out? And didn't get there until after it was closed? That's probably one of the nights when we didn't hear her. And we were all wondering, where is she? Well, she must have got money. No, her phone was at Hanini's. And Miss D, thank you for providing us with the information. Right, Lisa hasn't eaten in 10 years. Facts upon facts. And you notice, people were like, you got groceries, you got groceries. She didn't even acknowledge it. And then what did she do? She cut the comments off. Yeah, she was on yesterday. Lisa misses when there's something wrong with the phone, or she's gotten enough money behind the scenes. Period. Remember when she just tried the whole thing about her phone was broken and she couldn't see anything? But then the very next time she went live, she was communicating with the comments? Taking Bear, so many people do. Taking Bear, give me a minute. I like to finish my commentary, but you will absolutely, when I do open mic, be allowed to come back and talk about whoever you would like. Oh, no problem. No problem at all. When I do open mic, everybody is welcome. And you do not have to talk about the person I'm talking about or that I talked about today. Talk about whoever you would like. Yeah, she infuriates everybody. And so my purpose for having her up here is to A, make sure nobody gives her any money, but B, to give the olive branch to the people who are giving her money. Asking you to just come over here. You don't even have to come here. Just stop giving her money. Let her dox you. She can only dox you once. Even better, dox yourself, because that's going to piss her off. Because then she can't hold it over your head. Oh, awareness is going to find out you gave money. Now, will some people in awareness drag you? Maybe, but I'm not. And I hope other people don't. Because that's part of their fear, which is why they keep giving her money. They are afraid of being called out and dragged and, all over this app for what they decided to do. And that's how she keeps them in the loop. Which is why she'll say their first name, and sometimes when she gets really mad, she'll say their last initial. But that might not be the name they go by on TikTok. So what's the threat? That she says your name and first initial. She's not doing it for fear of TikTok. She's doing it for fear that somebody in awareness is going to go find them in real life. That's why she does it. Many prisms, first of all, I'm sorry for your mother. Lisa is a master manipulator. Master. And I'm glad you put a stop to it. So, let's move on. Everybody liked the live until you feel the heart's tale. I I don't even know what to say about Tim. I really don't. So he came on Wednesday after I ended my live. And he was saying that he still had $80, but that he needed another $90 to pay for 3 days in the hotel. So $80 wasn't enough. Thank you, Erica. $80 wasn't enough to pay for 1 day, but $170 would pay for 3 days. Does that make sense to anybody else? Because it didn't make sense to me. But okay. Now at the time, he was crouched down behind a gas station. And somebody came out from the gas station and told him he had to leave. Now, he let us hear that conversation, okay? He let us hear him say, you have to leave. Either the manager, the owner said to that person, he has to leave. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I've been a lot of places. I've never once been told to leave. Like, not in this kind of situation. They know what's going on when they tell somebody to leave. And he's like, they don't like homeless people. My gut tells me that's not why. Oh, that was yesterday. I'm going back to Wednesday. Because I want you to follow the money. He then showed us a white bucket full of change. Now, I could be 100% wrong, but I saw pennies more than I saw silver. He now claims that that was $15 of the 80 he had. When all you see is pennies and a few silvers, you know good and well that that's probably $5 at most, and it wasn't even a lot. It was literally at the bottom. But okay, but I just want you to follow the money. Yes, he's in Tennessee. It is illegal to be homeless in Tennessee. I agree. And so when he was like, they don't want me around because I'm homeless, I said, it isn't homeless. They know exactly why you're in town like that. They know why. Because being homeless, why are you required to be behind the store? And when I say the store, it's, most grocery stores, most gas stations have a little store now. Why are you behind it? And why are you behind it long enough for them to notice you? Because it had to be more than 5 minutes for them to notice you enough to let you stay there long enough for them to need to come outside. And it wasn't once, because when he came on, he said he has to leave there soon. And my very first question was, where's the woods? Where's the woods? Why are you behind a store for a gas station? But okay. So he logs off and he comes right back. Then he says, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm frustrated. And then someone came in and was like, hey, and he was like, today I'm not doing good, man. He said that the people at the gas station were harassing him. How are you calling it harassment? Because they're asking you to leave their property. That's not harassment. Harassment would be you had a right to be there and they were making you leave. And do you see how they use these words to make themselves sound pathetic and pitiful, and that they need help, they need to be taken care of? That's not harassment. Then, of course, he's good at crying, sometimes with real tears. And people were like, we found a hotel room for you for $53 a night. And he's like, that's only an online price. Now, mind you, he has changed his tune. He's willing for people to know exactly where he is. He's willing to allow people to, what do you call it? Pay for hotel rooms now. What happened? What happened to refusing that? But he wants the room he used to stay in. Not the room that was found. He wants to go back to the hotel he was in. And it was funny because he was trying to say an explanation, but because he had bad internet, we didn't hear it at all. And so then I said, I wonder if the person he had been staying with has figured him out. Or if he went into town to buy what we know he wanted to buy and didn't have any way back. But of course he has a cigarette, and he often has a cigarette, and he tries to make sure that the camera and him are outside of the screen. But sir, smoke floats with the air. We can see it. Because he even asked us yesterday, did you guys see me smoking? Yes, we did. Then it was a storm is coming. And he's so close to throwing in the towel. The effing towel, bro. Now, this is someone who has worked for 2 weeks. No, at this point, it would be 3. You've worked long enough to have gotten a paycheck, and you're looking at another one in a week and a half. And now you want to throw in the towel? Now? So then he said he messed up a big job, which later on we found out to be a $5,000 job because he was tired. And then, of course, he rewrote history. They love to do that because they don't think anybody's clocking them. The other day, he said that he had to pay his parole officer $75. On Wednesday, it was $100. I agree with you. I would agree with you, Drew. But what do you mean? It was 75 the other day. Now it's 100? When you are living on the edge, every dollar matters. So you mean to tell me you didn't remember $25 being different? You're lying. Then he added later on that he got 2 or 3 days of his seizure medication. You didn't say that before, but we'll go. So then we get to Thursday. And he's walking down a highway towards Walmart. He doesn't come on until he is 2 miles away from his wooded location. Let's not forget, some kids found him in the woods, happened to have hot coffee, and poured it on his head. Find me the kids that are drinking hot coffee to pour it on your head and scald you. Come on. Some random kids found you with hot coffee? What kids? My son loved coffee. He wasn't running around with his friends with hot coffee and pouring it on homeless people. Come on now. He probably burned himself or fell over or something. Anyway, we're at Thursday. And he's 2 miles from his location. And he's so many miles away from the Walmart. But he comes on to tell us, and he has on like a belt. He called it a back brace, I'm sorry. That his job called him into the office today to tell him that he can't come back until he gets some sleep. And I wrote down, is it that you fell asleep or that you're nodding on the job? And then I wrote down, suddenly he's struggling with being able to work. Where was this struggle the first 2 weeks of his job? Because he was in the exact same position. He was in the exact same position that he was in now. But you managed to work enough the first 2 weeks to get a paycheck. And of course, the tools that were supposed to cost you $600 cost you $800, and now you're saying like, oh, my check was just a little over 900. But where was all of this drama the very first 2 weeks of work? And then I wrote down, and now you're missing another day. Then he said his next paycheck would be more. How? You're missing multiple days. Now, I want to go back to something. Back when he was at the gas station and the employee came out and told him he had to leave, he let us hear that, right? But then, when he had a conversation with somebody else, camera was down and he put us on speaker. Why is that? And somebody asked him, why are we on speaker now? I believe that's the reason why he was behind the gas station to begin with. Whoever that was who he was there to meet. Because when they asked him to leave, he could have moved. He could have moved, and then there wouldn't have been a problem. He stayed for a reason. Anyway. And then he had enough to say a closed mouth doesn't get fed. A working man can have a closed mouth because he feeds himself. But then the other thing I noticed, and somebody else did too, was you're walking down the side of the highway, which means you're not on Wi-Fi. How is that possible? Now, let me say something. I clocked that when he said he had a conversation, that he had the phone call with the state about getting food stamps. How did they call you if you were just on Wi-Fi? I don't believe it. But anyway, let's move on from that. And let me say something else too. He mentioned that he had the phone call about food stamps, and once that works out, they'll be able to work on him getting TennCare. Not how it works. Not how it works. They would be able to do both immediately. There wouldn't be some extra process he has to go through. It's the same piece of paperwork because it's the same data used. So stop letting him pull y'all along, because people who have never needed the services don't have a clue how they work. They wouldn't need some separate understanding, some separate signatures. Why? It's all the same information. But anyway, so when someone questioned, how are you doing this on Wi-Fi? He said that his girl paid for some Wi-Fi. And then I said, but she wouldn't give you a couple of dollars for food and water. So of course he had to catch that because he knew that would be question number two. And he was like, she doesn't know how bad it is. So you're starting your relationship by lying? Oh, he has mods for sure. And they are block quick. She'll pay for you to have Wi-Fi, but not so you have water or that you've eaten today. Because you could have gave her the same story you gave us. You had to spend so much money on your tools that your check went. And you're now food insecure. But she paid for your Wi-Fi. Okay. I knew when I wrote that word I wasn't going to remember what it was. And I was like, yes, I will. And I knew I wouldn't. I put he's so. Oh, okay. But I still don't know what the word. Oh, exhausted. Okay. I wrote the word exhausted without the E. And so I said he was so exhausted that they had to call him in and tell him to go to sleep. But he could walk the 5 miles to Walmart? I'm going to just let that hang there for a moment. So then he said that the $70 he had yesterday, that he purchased 2 to 3 days worth of his medication. He ate a little bit last night. That 15 of the 70 was the change in the bucket, but that he forgot the bucket at the gas station and lost it. When you live on the bread line, you're not forgetting $15 in change. You're not. But what happened in that conversation that made you forget it? Because you got there and got what you wanted? Because you had to use the change in the bucket to get what it is that you wanted? That's why we don't have the bucket no more. And I wonder if the bucket came from asking people for money. And you want to know why I asked that question? Because while he was outside of Walmart sitting on one of their, tent displays for like outdoor furniture, he actually said, like, to himself. He wasn't talking to us. He said to himself, and I can't ask for people money out here because they don't allow that. So is that where that change bucket came from? You've been panhandling on the street with the bucket? And if that's the case, there's no way he would have forgotten the bucket. But this is just my commentary. And I also wrote, there might have been $5, if that much, in the bucket. It wasn't no 15. So why we were here yesterday, it was to buy a tent. That he had 30, that he saw a tent for 30 at Walmart, but that he was afraid they wouldn't have it and he'd have to get a more expensive one. Well, I won't waste your time. Of course, when he got in there, it wasn't there. He needed a more expensive one. Now, the one-man one was like $32, but of course, he needed the bigger one because of his stuff. And let's remember that all of his stuff was soaking wet because of the storm. So that he would also need money to do laundry as well. And by the way, guys, guess what's coming next? He's going to ask for money for more boots because these boots were soaking wet. But even before that, they were being tore up and he had huge blisters on his feet. You've had the boots for what, a month? A month and a half? Steel toe boots don't break down like that. And the more you wear them, the more they stretch to the mold of your foot. It's leather. Unless you got some pleather ones. But you needed steel toe to be able to do this job. You needed a specific type of boot to have this job. That's what you needed to start. You didn't say nothing about needing your own tools to start. You needed those boots to start. And somebody paid for them. Or a group of people paid for them. And now you're already complaining about how they're giving you huge blisters, etc., etc. And now they got soaking wet. So that'll be the next one. Just wait for it. But then he made it clear that even if he got the 15, that wouldn't help with food and water. And, by the way, guys, disappointment. The room that he could have had for $300 a month has passed him by. Really, Granny Annie? That's crazy. The room is no longer available. But then, and this is what I mean by you just got to listen closely enough. So somebody asked him about a shelter, community action, whatever. And this is what he said. He said the shelter is over an hour away. Now, I would have stopped right there because the shelter is an hour away and I have to go to work every day. It's not reasonable for me to stay at the shelter. That would have made sense. I would have left it there. But this is what he said. He said the shelter is over an hour away, but I've been calling them every day. Why would you call them every day if they're an hour away from where you work? And then he does the new red flag. You know, one of the red flags is anything will help. When you hear people say that, red flag. Well, the new red flag that I've been watching lately is I have to figure something out. You don't figure out a damn thing. What do you mean? What do you mean figure it out? I love when they say that. I have to figure it out. The only figure out you do is what can I say to get people to give me the money. That's the only figuring out you do. Or you hit up people who have given you money in the past. That's your figure it out. But you don't do a damn thing to actually get it. It's just how can I get people to give it to me? And of course, somebody ran in, gave him the $15 he needed. He bought the tent. Now, he bought a 4-man tent. Now, I understand why a 1-person tent wouldn't be enough. They are tiny. But a 4-person? Well, now he can have his girlfriend over for dinner. He can have a living room, a bedroom, and a little kitchenette. And mess around. He can get a bucket with a red bag and have a bathroom. Like, what? So, as usual, once I see them get it, I tend to walk away. Like, what am I watching for? You managed to convince somebody to give you the money. I'm done. So, if he came, Mr. was home yesterday, and so last evening, I didn't spend a lot of time on because I spent time with Mr. working on his things for TikTok Live. Who knows why he was crying last night? If he came on last night after buying the tent, I couldn't tell you. But at that point, it was probably for food and water. I want to see him go live in the tent. He claimed they sent him the money so that at any time he could turn around and take the tent back. People didn't buy it for him. They sent him the cash. Shout out to Sherry because I saw her ask that question. If somebody does the order, can he take it back? And they were like, well, if somebody does the order and he takes it back, it will be refunded to their card. But nope, that's not how it happened. They sent the money to his card so he could go live from the tent, sir. Yes, they do get destroyed, and because of the storms coming, but listen, he still needs money to wash his clothes. And wait, when he was buying the tent, he was like, I sure wish I had a sleeping bag. Like, the bag never ends. You know how we talk about Maggie and her list? He already has the next thing already. He needs food. He needs water. He's going to need something to sleep on because he's going to be like, the tent is great, but I don't have anything to sleep on. And my friend said that I could use their blow-up mattress, but I have to buy the pump. Well, where are you going to get the electricity to get said pump to blow up said mattress? And we all know those things are pretty good. They have gotten better over time, but the air eventually releases. So what are we going to do? So it may not be the pump for the bag. It may be a sleeping bag. We already can hint at the fact that he's going to want new boots. And how much do you want to bet that he's going to get denied for food stamps and 10 care as well? So he's still going to need your money for his medications. Fergie, your car has an outlet plug for your mattress. He don't have no car. He's in the woods living, according to him. Go live from the tent, or else I don't want to hear another thing about it. Yeah, I saw you buy it. He's living in the woods with nothing. He can't, you would think so. You would think working would be easier. But I mean, begging on TikTok has lots of perks. You can get up when you feel like it. You can stay on as long as you want. You're not getting rug tested. You're not getting alcohol tested. You get cash right away. You don't have to wait for a bank to clear the check for you. You can sleep when you want. Wake up when you want. Ask for as much as you want or as little as you want. Right, and not have to pay taxes. And if you get it sent directly to your payment apps, you don't have to share it with TikTok either. So, correct, Fergie. And what's crazy is that those are the people giving. Yeah, he does. Good morning. Okay, let's get to the last one so that hold on. Because they got their room paid for a whole week. Now it's interesting. He claims that he is working on getting a job. Good morning. I haven't heard him say she's looked for a single thing. Notice that? You hate to be kidding. You mean I have to be kidding? You know, where is she looking for a job? The only job she's looking for is laying in that bed and making a cup of coffee. That's it. You don't have to be sorry, honey. Tell everybody in here. You scroll out, you don't gotta tell me. It's okay. You gotta do something in your house with your kids, with your man. You don't have to say sorry. Everybody in here is grown. And I always say real life comes before TikTok. You guys 100% motivate me to get up and do this every day. But if real life takes over, I gotta do real life first. And I want y'all to do real life. Thank you for the heart, me. Deter. So, this is my thing. At this point, Tim's entire content is to talk about us. My problem, Tim, though, is that while I talk about you as an individual, I talk about your nonsense specifically, you have decided to place all of us in the same boat. You don't differentiate. And then you'll call out one or two names. But you'll allude to my live. You won't say my name, which I'm okay with. I don't care. Everybody knows when you say you got a text message at 6 o'clock who they're talking about. Because nobody else is going live this early talking about you. It's me. I know. But again, let's be accurate. Nobody's texting you at 6 unless they're telling you to get up for 6:30. Because I don't go live until 6:30 or sometime after. Stop acting like somebody needs to text you. I'm sure your alarm is set for 6:30 on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you can hear for yourself. But what upset me yesterday was that on the live, he tried to compare us talking about him and his and their nonsense to the gross, abusive comments made to somebody, the gentleman who is trying to lose weight. And he's been going live every day showing his exercise regimen. Or he compared it to the gentleman who has Down syndrome who likes to sing karaoke. And he's not very good, but he loves it. It's his favorite thing to do. And there are disgusting, hateful, ridiculous comments in those lives. And he tried to compare what we do to him to what is happening to them. Tim, stop it. Stop it. Sherry Lynn, you want to come up and tell your story, baby? So that we could differentiate between what's going on with them versus what's going on in the people that he mentioned. Please, you are welcome to come up in this moment. Because I am sick and tired of him trying to alter the narrative or to alter the truth with his narrative. It is not the same thing. Only if you're comfortable, honey. If you're not comfortable, no worries. But I promise you're not the only one. When he's like, we figured out how to pay tonight, we know what he means. We know what he means when he said he figured it out. It means he's gone to people who have given him money in the past and begged for more. That's the only figure out he has. He doesn't go to the Home Depot and try to get day work. Oh, say something and I. Oh, there you go. No. How come I can't? It won't let me. Oh, we probably have to be friends in order for me. Okay, Sherry Lynn, I requested to be your friend. You have to accept me, and then I think I can welcome you in the box. Or I can add you to the box. Can anybody explain to her how to do it? Because I can't remember. You have to hit something at the bottom. Let me see if I can find you in here. I think this is only going to show my friends. There we go.
Oh,
Good
am I
morning.
here?
Yes, you are, darling. Yes, you are.
Okay, now you just have to overlook me because this only makes the second time in years that I've been in a box.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and this is a safe space.
Okay, my deal with them is in the very beginning. Well, I don't know if it's the very beginning, but I would, talk to them and try to help them, like as far as advice, no money. And well, they got off like what in January, February. They was, high rolling with a car and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it wasn't probably long after that. I got a message from I assumed Tim, and he said, "Hey," he said, we don't start work till such, or I don't start work till such and such date. Do you think you can send, some money for Angela to eat? Not me, but Angela, because she's, not feeling good." Well, of course, I didn't answer it. Well, next thing I know, they're in a motel room and they're on live and they're showing, they're eating and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said, well, I thought I said, I said, how many people did you go around and ask for money? Well, of course, he didn't answer that. I
Okay.
can't believe I ain't been blocked yet, really. And about a month ago, I woke up and there was this message, saying, "Hey, can you send us $15? Angela had a seizure and she needs food." Of course,
Uh-huh.
I didn't send no money either. But that's my dealings with them. And I tell him all the time, "Hey, if you can come to Kentucky, I can get you a job." Because I don't live that far from Dyersburg. I said, I tell them all the time, I can get both of y'all a job right up here at this little factory because, I know the supervisor, and they're always hiring, but he's always got an excuse that he can't leave Dyersburg.
Right. Well, the car can't get there now. That's the new overarching excuse for why they can't get anywhere. The car doesn't work. But you never said that when you were going to work and picking up Angela.
Exactly, exactly. But Yeah, that's my experience. And no, I have not sent them not one penny. So I don't know how, out of all the people that they've talked to and got money from, how they just, sucked on to me. Because, I mean, I've been nice to them. I ain't saying I haven't, because, I've tried to give them advice on how to get a job. And it just ain't sinking in because they won't get out of bed long enough to get a job.
Correct. And, oh, you'll be blocked after this because he
I
did this.
know I
You'll be
will.
blocked after this. But I think it's disgusting. You aren't even someone who gave. You were just kind, and he will. That's the master manipulation.
Yes, I was
Because
just kind to him, because,
right,
in the beginning, I did kind of feel sorry for him because I didn't know the story.
right,
And I always give people the benefit of the doubt. But
correct,
when it comes to laziness, I have no use for it.
right. What
I just,
what started to turn you?
um, seeing them every day on TikTok begging.
Mm,
I
mm.
mean, every morning or every afternoon, they're always begging for money. Always wanting to, I mean, hotel rooms or motel rooms is not cheap. And
No,
then I don't know, this lady that gave them the money out of her mortgage
mortgage money.
from,
Yep.
that really just upset me to the high ends because I don't know who's listening, but don't ever risk your own being under your own roof to help somebody that don't help themselves. Don't do that.
Absolutely not.
You put yourself first because they're not going. First off, they don't care nothing about you, and secondly, they're not paying you back.
Absolutely not. He blocked her. He tries to act like I was paying her back until they got me fired. No, sir. The first thing you did was block her. So stop acting like you are this. You have this moral superiority that you were doing the right thing, and then, but each time he changes the story a little bit to make him seem like the victim of it all before he can
Exactly.
say, "Oh, I made a mistake" or "I did her wrong." Now it's not that. Now it's I was paying her back and they made me lose my job and now I can't pay her back.
They didn't make him do nothing.
No, of course not. And why would we make you lose your job? Like I said, put up the letter from McDonald's. You done
Yeah,
paint yourself into a corner. Put up the letter from McDonald's that says that it was the phone calls from TikTok. Put it up.
yeah.
Or
Ain't
don't
nobody gonna make you lose your job because they want you to work. Well, you'll quit bugging people about money
right.
because it's nobody's responsibility but your own self to make sure you have a roof over your head.
Right. I
And
agree.
that's just how I feel. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why they started asking me, but I've never, not once, sent them a penny, and I never would. But just out of the blue, here comes these messages, and I thought, dude, I didn't send it to you the first time. Why would I, do it the second time? I
Because he
just,
thought he could be more manipulative by saying she had a seizure. And let me just say this. He didn't just do it to you. He's done it to all of the women that are in there that have had any length of time. It's always the ladies with him.
yeah, I kind of figured that, and but I'm a little bit smarter than what he gives me credit for. Because you're not getting my husband's hard earned money. I don't care. You just ain't.
I know that's right. Well,
That's just how I feel about it.
thank you for coming up and sharing your story, Sherry. You are always welcome here because part of what makes your story so important is that he could say whatever he wants to about me, but you stand in the way of his lie,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
I
I
believe I
believe.
still have the messages. So I mean,
Make
You
sure you
know,
screenshot them and keep them, because he's gonna say you're lying.
well, I'll screenshot them. I'll go look for them right now when we get off and screenshot them because I know one thing. I ain't lying about him. I ain't got no reason to lie about him. And well, anybody that knows the story knows that people like me are telling the truth.
Correct. Correct. Or he's gonna try to flip it and be like, "Oh, I just asked her the one or two times and she didn't get it. And see, I didn't block her because she didn't send me the money. But I bet you're gonna be blocked now. And you haven't said any lie. You haven't said anything mean or nasty. But because you revealed the fact that that's what he does behind the scenes, and you have proof of it, you are no longer useful for him. You are
Oh,
now a tool of the trolls. I didn't make up the story for you. I didn't say to you, "Oh, come up here and lie on him to make him look worse."
no, you did not. You sure did not. But I get up every morning and I watch you and drink my coffee. So, and I thought, I'm gonna tell them what he's done to me
Well,
or what
I
he tried to do to
appreciate you
me.
doing so, because
So,
it confirms what we already know. I
yes,
appreciate you.
you're welcome.
Anytime you are welcome to come up. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.
Do you
You
know
have a
how to
great
get
day.
down? You too.
Oh,
I'll let you down. Hold on. Somebody else was asking. Okay, hold on. Here we go.
Good morning, Digital. How are you?
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Hanging in there. Um, this is just frustrates me to see all these people on here that think they're entitled to people that are out there working every day, sometimes 7 days a week. That they should have people's money. I work hard for what I make. I'm struggling, and I was supposed to have my car repaired by a guy. I thought he was very honest, and I was referred to him by a guy that works in the same place that I work, but in the kitchen. And I explained to him my situation about my car. He goes, "Oh, my buddy will do it." So he came over. He looked at my car. He said, "You get the parts, and I'll charge you $500. That's included inspection." And I'm like, "Okay." So he goes, "Well, I don't have no stickers until next week." So, I paid this guy money. I bought the parts for the car that he said I needed. I don't even think he really put the parts on. I mean, my car runs, but it's still making the same noises as it did when I took it up. So I got scammed over $1,000 by this guy. He And then the guy that referred me got fired from the place that I work.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's just a shame. I was so excited, thinking I finally found an honest person that understood my situation, and and I was walking to work 12 blocks. I walk to work. I work 8 hour shift, short staffed, and then I walk home. Fridays and Saturdays are very scary for me walking home, because all the crazies are out. But it's just now this is making me want to work even more and even harder, because I'm bound and determined to get my car, back legally on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But to see these beggars on here every day, knowing that I go to work, where there's a will, there's a way. And you got to want to help yourself. You can't expect people to support anything that you do, financial wise. That's not our responsibility. And I go on here, and it's like every other live is somebody asking, I need hotel money, I need this, I need that. I've been down that road to where I was homeless, and I pulled myself out of it, and I got myself on track, and to see these people on here constantly begging, it just frustrates me.
I know
It's
it does. Carla, have you gone to All for One's link tree?
Yeah, I sent him a text message a couple of days ago through
Okay.
TikTok explaining my situation. I mean, I work really hard. Now I'm starting to pick up double shifts and everything, trying to get, because doing what I did put me behind a little bit in my rent,
Yes.
but now I'm caught back up with my rent. But that's not the point. The point of it is, I thought I found somebody after it's been a year that I've been trying to get this car inspected, and right. I mean, I don't know what possibly other parts it needs. Everything's new on there now that I purchased, but unless he didn't put the parts on that I had bought, he could have hawked them.
Right.
And
So let me ask
so,
you this: does he have like? Is it an official business or just something he was
well,
doing?
his buddy does, but he was doing my car at his house, and then he was going to take it to the shop and have it inspected at the shop
Uh,
that he works at. But I don't feel that he put the parts on my car. He was very hesitant about giving me a receipt when I went up to his house to get my car. I said, "Can I get a receipt?" And he goes, "What do you need a receipt for?" I'm like, "Because I'm giving you $500. I bought the parts for my car that you're supposed to have put on." And so he gets a little post-it note, puts $500, and puts what parts he said he put on my car. Which I'm a female. I don't know too much about. I know how to do an oil change, you know, and all that, but I don't know how to put brakes and wheel bearings and all that stuff on. But it just broke my heart. It put me behind, like I said, in my rent 1 month. Because I just started this other job, and it's been a challenging 5 years for me. All for One is very familiar with my situation, but now it's making me to work harder. I mean, I'm angry inside, but I go to work because that's where I find my peace is at work. When I sit at home, it just angers me more. So
right.
I try to pick. But when I get on here and I'm seeing, pay for this, pay for that, do this, do that, get a job.
Right.
Get your life turned around. Do what you got to do to get yourself back on track. I did it. I mean, I was homeless. I was sleeping in a tent, paying $300, $365 a week to pitch a tent in a field at a campground,
Right.
and working 16 hours a day. Driving, and my drive was like an hour and a half drive back to the campground. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Stop coming up with excuses why you can't work, why you can't provide for yourself, and expect these hardworking people out here that are also struggling because of the economy to support you.
Right.
You
I
know?
get it. I get it.
Yep.
Well, thank
Yep.
you for coming up and sharing your story. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like I said the other day, everybody faces a valley. There's a part
Yeah.
everybody of us play in. There's a part of what's happened, but the third part is what are we doing to dig ourselves out of that hole? And
It,
if there's no you have no willpower to dig yourself out, you're gonna stay there.
yeah,
So
and the hard part is, I mean, I don't have any family to turn to. My family has passed. So I feel every day when I get up that I'm in this world by myself, and I'm fighting this world by myself. But I'm not going to give up, because I mean, there's challenges out there. You just got to do the best you can to get through them, and get yourself on track. But there's so many people out here now that don't want, they can do it. They just prefer not to, when they can come right on the app here and beg.
right.
It's easier to sit on your couch and beg than to go out and work an 8-hour job a day.
I agree. Well,
So,
thank you for coming up, my
yeah,
dear. I'm
thank you,
gonna do.
sweetheart. Have a good day. I watch you every morning.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
All
it.
right. Have a good one.
Okay.
Bye.
So, I know I told a couple people earlier to wait, and so I'm just gonna do open mic now while I continue to talk about them. But again, you guys are not required to talk about the people I've talked about today, or the fact that I'm talking about Tim and Angela. But my question is, when are you gonna do any other content? And my question is also this: you now are no longer going to do content, cooking content. My question is this: Have you decided not to do that because you realize that we find it absolutely disgusting that you are shaving your hair in the same bathroom where you are cooking and we don't watch you wash your hands, etc.? Or is it because the hotel told you that that's unacceptable and now you can no longer do it on live? Which one is it? Which one is it? I want to know. Good morning. Good morning,
Good
Fluffy.
morning, beautiful.
How are you?
Am I echoing? Am I okay?
Yep, we can hear you. That's fine.
Okay. This is that Roy boy that came in on Wednesday. I think he is in with the beggars. I sent you, he was in that Wheezy's live. He mods for him. And that guy's trouble. He was begging. And I'm watching this. I took some screenshots. So I don't know. I don't think Roy boy was as honest as, he said. I think he's sending these people money.
Oh, okay. Well,
All right.
I'll just say this: is
I mean, I don't even know how I
oh
wound up in it.
God,
And then there he was right after your live. It was kind of crazy.
right? Okay. Well, we'll figure it out. But thank you for letting us know.
Yeah. I mean,
I appreciate
hopefully
it.
he comes to this side. He sees the light. But Weezy's pretty big on the app. And I found out he only lives 30 minutes from me. So that's kind of crazy.
Oh wow.
So,
Can you send me his
he
app?
just stays in a lot of trouble and blah, blah, blah. So he might like that. But he's pretty big on the app
Okay. Can
for
you send me
different
the app?
reasons.
Can you send me the app for Weezy? Because I'm not sure who that is.
Yes, I
Okay.
sure can. He's the guy with the tattoos all over his face, and yeah, I'll send it to you. In fact, I probably sent it live because I sent it to you when he was live, but I'll resend it.
Okay. All right. Perfect.
Okay. Thank you,
Okay.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, who is Jason in the live? I'm sorry, chat. I was missing it. Can y'all tell me who's Jason that's in the comments, I should say? Jason, would you like a box? Oh, he gives Lisa every day. Hold on, fuck it, and Granny, I see you, but I just want to give Jason a moment to decide. Oh, I've tried this before. I know Erica, but they like to come in. I mean, I don't think they're gonna come up because we already know there'll be no. It won't be a fair fight because the only thing that you sending her money tells me is that you want to witness and be a part of her unaliving. That's it. Just the other day, she was literally nodding out the entire time she was on live. And I thought it was interesting. Somebody said, and I haven't researched this, but I'm just quoting what somebody else said. They said that the nodding out isn't them falling asleep, that the nodding out is a disruption of oxygen to the brain. And I thought, wow, wow. And people are still giving her money? I mean, do what you do. Oh, for Trey. Do what you do, but when she's worried about the karma we're going to supposedly get for watching her and not giving her money, understand that the karma is going to go to the people who continue to fund this lifestyle knowing what's happening. Oh, it's called Jack City. I'm gonna look that up because you know that comes from the movie New Jack City. Well, like I suspected, Jason is just here because this is where a lot of people are, and he's going to continue to do what he does. It's his money, it's his choice. But I'm not worried about Jason. Thank you for all your support. I'm not. I'm not concerned about my karma. But Jason, you might want to be concerned about yours. What? I'm sorry. I had to block that myself. You can unpin that comment. Please. Somebody please undo that comment. Because I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. She has children and grandchildren and parents. What do you mean? What do you mean? Okay, I'm gonna let everybody up because if I
Uh,
don't, we'll be here till tomorrow.
Good morning, Dee Dee. Good
Good
morning,
morning.
chat. Good
Hold on, I
morning,
just
Buck.
want to say this. We're gonna go in this order: Fuck it, Granny, and then Lavender. Okay? All right. Have at it. Your turn.
I only have a few things I wanted to bring up. One was you seen Tim Nash at the gas station the day before yesterday.
No, I did not.
Okay, well, I was watching him in that live, and he had a Freudian slip, and he moved the camera when he was adjusting himself, sitting on the ground, and you could see a woman's leg. You could tell it was a woman's leg.
Oh,
And
you mean Tim Nash? I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Tim Nash.
Yes, I was watching him at the gas station.
Okay, and the chat was like, "Who's that with you?" And he ignored it. And they were like, Is your girl with you?" And he ignored it. And then she started talking to him.
Oh wow.
And
So
then
do we
the
think it's the
gas
lady
station
from
attendant,
Philly?
huh?
Do we think it's the girl from Philly?
Yeah, well, from Pittsburgh, yeah, I believe Yvette's still with him
Yeah.
because he ignored it when they asked him, is that your girl with you? And then the gas station attendant came out there and told him he had to leave. And first off, when the gas station attendant come out there and told him he had to leave the first time, he said, "Oh, I talked to the manager and he said we could sit here." And
Oh.
and then uh, he came back out and he said, "Well, we'll move." And then they were moving his stuff, and you could hear the girl clearly talking to him, and everybody was like, "So your girl's with you?" And he was like, "No, that was just some lady that's coming to help me move my stuff." And that he ended not long after that.
Of
Like
course.
everybody in the chat was on his ass about that.
I missed that one. I'm gonna have to go see if somebody recorded it and posted it on YouTube.
And he had a lot of bags with him, like white trash bags full of shit.
Really?
Yeah, and then yesterday about the tent, he came back on after Walmart and was walking through the woods, and he was walking up a hill, and he said, "Yeah, there's my tent, just to prove to y'all I got my tent." He's like, there's my tent.
Okay.
But I honestly don't think he's working. And the reason I say that now is because for the last 4 days, he's came on every day and has progressively gotten earlier and earlier.
Correct. He was trying to keep it to like after 5 his time to make it look like he worked all day.
Yes.
But I agree with you. Even starting back like around the holiday, that Thursday before, I was like, why aren't you at work? It's early. And I agree with you. It's gotten earlier and earlier to the point where yesterday it was I got called into the or whatever day that was, I got called into the
No,
office
that was yesterday. He said he got called into the office and they told him not to come back. They
until
sent
he
him
didn't
home and they
sleep.
told him not to come back until he got sleep and he had proof of somewhere to sleep. Like, what job's going to tell you that?
Right.
Like,
Especially
yeah, show
on
me
days
proof you have
without
somewhere to sleep.
But then it was the other thing. He keeps saying they know his situation. So if they know his situation, if they let him work the first 2 weeks without tools and they know he's homeless, why wouldn't they let him take that check and get himself established? And then on the next check, make him get his tools. If a job is going to do all of that for you, why would they make you suffer immediately? I don't believe it. I don't believe any of it.
And the other point I wanted to bring up was uh, yesterday, Tim and Angela, Tim, sat there and tried to say that we paid Kimberly to come up there and get in our boxes and talk.
What?
And we would never, ever do that.
Why would we? That's the thing. None of us need anybody to confirm us, right? We talk about what we hear, what we see, whatever the case may be. When they do confirm, why do we need to pay them? They're telling us the story of dealing with you. Why would we have to pay them? That's A. And then B, when she got in the box, they didn't know what she was going to come up and say, for A. And for B, they didn't know that you and your wife are going to show up at her door screaming, yelling, and cursing and scaring her. How could we pay her to make that happen? You did that all on your own. But again, he's trying to use, we are now his content because he has nothing. And he is using our ability to check his ass and to call out his lies and to call out the manipulation to say that we are persecuting him and his wife. Y'all have been doing this for a long time. I just started talking about you to Angela. So how am I persecuting you? Because any of us, for that matter, please paid Kimberly. Okay, I'm sorry. I have not watched Dave Kellums, so I can't speak to him. But if anybody else can, they're welcome to. But I haven't watched him. Granny,
But yeah, I thought I would bring that to your attention. I didn't know if you heard him say that or not.
I
But yeah,
did not. But so
he
thank
definitely
you.
said that yesterday.
Wow,
But
that's
yeah, I just wanted to bring those points up. That's all.
thank you, fuck it.
I
I appreciate
appreciate you
it.
letting me up.
Of course, anytime.
Everybody have a great day.
You too. Hold on. The Rook Caller? God gracious. What kind of name is that? The Rook Caller. Granny?
Yes, good morning. How are
Good
you all?
morning. I am good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I have a couple of them to mention. They mentioned Dave Kellums in the comments, and
Okay.
I went into Dave Kellums' live on my backup when All for One was in there talking to him, and I thought, okay, he didn't sound at that point like he was scamming. So I sent Dave a list of, gosh, probably between like 80 and 100 places that hire work from home. And when he got that list, I told him, I said, I can't guarantee if they're hiring in your area. I can't guarantee if they're hiring at this time, but I list, all the wages were listed, and I said those may be higher than what they're listed now, and also the ones that provide their own equipment.
Mm.
All he did was message me back and complain about the list being so long,
What?
about certain places that were not hiring. And I'm like, I told you this in the beginning. I said, I was trying to help you out because I couldn't copy and paste the list because I was on doing it on my backup. So I had to type all that in for him. And I'm like,
What?
I said, you appreciate nothing. I said, so that's the last time I'm going to help him. And I've sent the list to several people and even some in here. And I'm upfront about it. I don't know if they're still hiring. It's just a list that I've compiled because I worked from home for the last 10 years.
Mm.
So I have kind of a group of people that we all keep contact and we all share information on who's hiring and what the pay is. And so, if we want to try to go for a higher paying job, we have options and we know who's providing equipment and who's not. And I was like, I will never do that for him. So Dave is on his own. And especially he was put up a video about how he was so proud that he learned how to block all for one.
What?
I'm like, yes, he put up many videos on all for one. And I think he's just absolutely despicable. And I am sorry that he actually learned how to block, but he should also realize that many of us on here have backups. And
Correct.
yes, Mama Bear, message me so because I'll probably forget, but message me and I will gladly send you any information I have.
I
And
am the
then,
one. Oh, sorry.
yeah, go ahead, Carmen. Hi.
Hi. I'm the one that's going after the cats, getting all the animals removed from there. I also have
Yes.
two videos posted with it is the County Humane Society in Indiana. He lives in South Bend, but there's a phone number posted for the Humane Society. And there's also, now it's considered an abandoned house. So, yes, with his first, middle initial, and last name, and the address to the abandoned house is on the same video. So, if you all want to call that Humane Society, the more calls, the better off, the better chances we are to get them cats all removed in one day. I talked to the Humane Society twice yesterday. They were going to try and get out there by the end of yesterday, but they couldn't. The lady said they were really busy because I called before 4 before they shut down. I myself have given Dave free options to take and get his cats spayed and neutered, vet checked, shot. There's two animals. He's got 4 cats inside of the house that he left inside of the abandoned house with no lights, no air,
Hmm.
no nothing.
Right.
And then he's got multiple stray cats that he feeds. Well, those stray
Hmm.
cats now are his responsibility. So the lady yesterday flat out told me it's he can be charged with abandonment, neglect, and abuse.
Wow. Right.
So they are going to try and get out there today. She put his address and the situation at the top of the list, she said. And I told her, so if you all call, explain the situation. And they're probably going to need at least 15 to 20. That's why I say 15 plus crates to rescue all them cats. There's a baby kitten inside of that house too. Well, then he drops out of All for One's box the other day because he came in hot and heavy and started yelling and screaming at the both of us. So he dropped out, ran like a track star, quote unquote, being on oxygen. How the power got shut off. Yeah, make that one make sense.
And
Goes back to the house. He goes back to the house, you all, and makes a video showing him feeding those cats and giving it fresh bottled water. Oh, why do you got to make a video of it there for, buddy? It's like, did I scare you? You think I'm threatening you? I'm literally going after him and I'm pressing those charges on him.
As you should. Y'all know how I feel about cats.
Yeah, I'm an animal advocate. It's like, and I don't look, and I flat out told him, I said, I personally don't give two flying shits what happens to you. I'm coming after you, and I'm getting them cats taken away from you, and I'm going to make sure that he's got a red flag check on his name from here on out till the day that man takes his last breath, where he can no longer own an animal of any sort, of any kind, ever again, a day in his poor little life.
Perfect.
And then he also, I don't know how it would work, but he still has like GoFundMe up, and he still is on here. But he knew that he was going to go live with his uncle literally 8 minutes down the road, and still was on here begging, and still has that GoFundMe up.
Well, maybe.
And he blocked us yesterday. But look, I went in on my troll account last night. I ain't gonna say what name it is because I was hammering down on him about the cats and things. It's like, but it's like, how are you going to be on oxygen but yet the power got shut off, and that's against, for one, it's against the law. They cannot do that when you have a medical documentation saying that you're on the oxygen. Okay.
Has anybody seen it attached to a tank or just the oxygen on his nose?
Correct.
Hmm.
So he says that they gave him 2 10-day notices, so basically 20 days to get that bill paid, and they were going to shut it. No, I'm calling bullshit. He knew that he was going to his uncle's on a specific certain day, so I think that he went ahead and had the power shut off the night before, but yet he sits in front of a fan. He's like, if I would have woke up in the middle of the night with no power, and I would have been pissed off and mad as hell because I'm on oxygen. Well, how do you think them animals feel, you piece of shit? How do you think they feel? They're in a house where it's moldy, it's disgusting, full of cat urine, feces, garbage, no fan, no light, no air. Oh, but I opened up the windows. Well, you go sleep in it with just opened up windows, buddy. You do that.
He would never. But my thing is this though. What do you mean mad and pissed off? How about concerned about your health? But Carmen, hold on for a second, because I let you skip the line. Good morning, Lavender.
Digital. This is my first time in a box.
Oh, I love when people pop their cherry in my box. How are you?
I'm good. I watch you every day, and I was like, you were that person that popped up. That pinned comment really irks me because I've been watching her with many scammers say vile things to them, and it just makes me so upset that a lot of these mods are just as bad as the scammers themselves.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I've messaged them kindly. I'm never rude, and they laugh at me. They laugh at me, thinking that it's funny. She was a mod for Nikki Vianney, knowing that that girl was going through addiction as well, and she modded for her.
Really?
And yep, I have video of that from the past. And she knew she
You
was
probably
struggling. She
blocking
knew it.
on to be honest, because I used to watch her.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes. She hasn't been on a little bit. She comes on in the night sometimes, but she's struggling. And if you're supposed to be a friend to this person, why would you push them to get more money knowing they're struggling? If you're supposed to be this friend. But she's a
Not.
very vile
She likes to
person.
watch.
She's very vile.
She likes to watch people who are addicts because she's hoping to participate in the ends of somebody. Clearly.
Exactly. Yep. It's so sad about that. And then also, I was thinking about Tim Nash yesterday, or not that yesterday, it was Tuesday when he was on, when someone called him out for the 150, and he said, well, I got this. And then someone asked, could you get your meds? He's like, no. But then someone else called him out, and he's like, well, I got my psych meds. What? You can't keep your story straight.
They cannot. They cannot. And most people who support them act like they don't hear it. I don't understand how you could pretend like you didn't hear him just lie.
Right. Exactly. And that's why I wanted to come up. And I know you all know it. It's just the mods are just as bad. They know these people are struggling, and it's just sick. No matter their behavior, they still deserve the decency of not having people like that, because no one should have to hear that or have support like that, because that's not support. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
I
I
don't block
appreciate you
very
guys.
much, but I'm going to block for that for sure.
Yeah, because I've watched her, and if she gets in the box, she gets people banned. So just be careful.
Oh, yeah. Not going to happen.
Those-
Not around here.
Oh, so I just wanted to let you know that she is not nice.
Okay. I appreciate it. And
Thank you so much for
how was
letting me
your
on.
first time in the box?
Thank you for making me comfortable up here. I appreciate it.
Okay, good. I'm glad. And welcome anytime.
Thank you. All right, bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, Carmen, go ahead. Oh, we got two more people. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and drop two. I appreciate you letting me up, but it's like I seen I'm the comments and stuff about Mr. Dave, and it's like so I wanted to clarify that stuff.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, and I'll be going to your page. I wrote down your at. If you can do us a favor, oh well, comment again so people can hit you and they can find your at, so we can find out the information about the Humane Society.
Okay,
Okay, thank you, my dear.
you too. Bye.
Bye bye.
All
You have a
all
good
right.
day.
I just wanted to say I'm the one that pinned it. I didn't mean to trigger anybody, but I just thought that was. I wanted you to see it first before I even blocked it.
Oh no, disturb one. That's perfect. You know that's how I want it to be done. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, because I'm like, what? Because I seen in
Yeah,
the comments, yeah, but that is disgusting.
absolutely.
So yeah.
Okay, thank you. Let me just explain to people who may not know. I am not block happy over here, and what I've asked the mods to do is if they see a comment, whether it's disrespectful to me, disrespectful to the people in the chat, outrageous like that, to pin it first so I can address it, and then I usually say, okay, you can block, you can mute, you can whatever. That's the way I like to run it here because I don't want it to be like, oh, a scammer came in here and they immediately got blocked. They'll never be blocked. You can come up here anytime you want and state your case.
Right.
People like that deserve to be blocked, but that's how I've asked the mods to handle it. So if anybody was triggered by what you said, I'm sorry, but the mods are only doing it the way I've asked them to. And I hope you guys can understand that.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank
I'm
you,
the
my
culprit
dear.
that did that.
Oh, no problem. You did it exactly right, my love.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna drop. All right,
Okay,
bye.
thank you. Okay, Granny, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Somehow my screen was split between your live and some other motorcycle live, so I
Oh,
had to drop and
wow.
come back. But there's one other one too, and that 50 Shades of Bitch. I've seen her when I've been under my 50 Shades of Crazy name,
That's
and
funny.
I agree that is a disgusting comment to make because no matter what Lisa does and how frustrated we get with her, she is still somebody's daughter, mother, grandmother, sister, aunt. You know, she still has family, and that's just not right. But there is another one on this app that I've shared in the chat, and her name is Crazy Grandma 12.
Uh-oh.
And Crazy Grandma 12 likes to come live early in the mornings in sometimes nothing but a sports bra. And sometimes she will have pants on, but one time she did not, and she proceeded to let the camera go down, and we saw everything.
Wow.
She She's really proud of her 360 videos that she does. And she will tell people, if you send me gifts, I will unzip my sports bra further. Or if you send me edible arrangements like fruit, I will unzip my sports bra or do a 360 video for you. She's done videos when one guy asked her to put her hair up and take it back down. She she didn't understand at first, but he was getting his jollies from that, I guess. And she had another guy in her box at one time, and he was telling her to do things, and he was making certain inappropriate noises in the box. So I think
What?
she would be a good bolo because not that anybody wants to look at that because it just caught my eye because I scrolled in there by accident, and then she said she's a 54-year-old grandmother of, I believe, 12. I think that's where the number came from. And I'm like, I am a 54-year-old grandmother of one, and I would never want to expose anything on live for one thing. And especially, I try to think of when I say or do anything in a live with anybody that I don't want my daughter to scroll in there with, my 5-year-old granddaughter wanting to talk to me, even though the camera's not on, and hear any, inappropriate comments or even see anything. That I would be embarrassed if my daughter saw me that way. And she gets usually maybe 10 people, all men in there,
Hmm.
and it's just disgusting.
She
So
sounds like
it's
an older version of Trinity.
oh yes, the bathtub babes. She's not in a bathtub, but she could be like the ringleader of them. I
Right.
mean,
My thing is this though, if you want to do 304 behavior, go do 304 behavior, or go
right,
do it, or go to
right,
OF.
right. And that's what I said. I said I think your content should be for OnlyFans.
Correct.
And and she
Her
said, well,
name is
I've been.
Crazy
She said,
Mama 12.
yes, crazy grandma 12.
Oh, Grandma. Okay.
And she has lost one account already because of doing this. She's been banned quite a few times on her account now, and she just continues. And I'm like, well, what's the deal? You want them to give you gifts? You want them to send you arrangements, edible arrangements, which are not cheap.
No, they're
So
not.
why wouldn't you do OnlyFans where they could pay their membership because they're still paying you either way?
Correct. And then you could do whatever you want, and nobody over here would have anything to say. She
Right.
sounds like somebody who deserves a couple of visits.
Oh yes. I mean, it was, I'll tell you, when she was sitting there, she had a sheet over top of her and of course just her sports bra. But she will sit there and she'll have her hair down over her chest. Then she flips it back and lifts her head back. And then like I said, the one time she exposed herself totally, she's like, so I have nothing on under the sheet. And she said, but I have to go to the restroom. And she pulled that sheet back. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I'm like, you can't, you've got to be kidding. And I said, would you want your grandchildren or your children to scroll in and see you like this? I said,
My
that is
question is,
absolutely disgusting.
there are children on this app, and whether you
Yes.
say 21 and over, 27 and over, whatever,
Mhm.
they can bypass that.
Right. They can. And I told her that. I said, there are young children on this app that you don't even know it's a child until they usually come up in your box or they comment certain comments. You can kind of guess that it's a kid. But that one that came in her box, there is no way he was 18.
Yeah, she doesn't care either.
She
She
does not
started
care.
now? Oh,
Yeah, she will ignore my comments
of course.
because she only pays attention to the men. And I've reported her. I'm not one that's, you know, I don't jump to reporting somebody right away. I usually have to watch it for a few lives just to make sure that, I'm doing the right thing.
Right.
Every time I go in her live, I report her and I'm like, I'm not hiding it from her. I tell her, I'm reporting you. You've got to be stopped.
Well, thank you for bringing her to all of our attention, because
Oh, yes, you're welcome. Just be prepared.
well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
appreciate
you're welcome. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll drop down. Thank you.
you too, and I want you to have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Well, it's 9:29 on the dot. Don't we love it when it works itself out? Her at is Crazy Grandma 12. Let's go give her some visits, since that's what she wants to do first thing in the morning. Well, thank you all so much. We had a full week, which I'm proud of. I haven't done a full week in a minute. So, shout out to the scammers. You keep my life popping. I appreciate you. I want you to go away, however. I'm sick of talking about the same people when there are so many new ones I'd love to give more attention to. But as long as you're doing it, I'm going to talk about you. You want me to stop talking about you? Stop scamming people on TikTok. And if you don't want to call yourself a scammer, call yourself a dry beggar, a straight beggar, someone who does white lies to get money out of people, manipulators, whatever you are on the spectrum of scamming. Go out there and work hard and work for what you want. You will actually be prouder of yourself because of your efforts. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep talking about you. Again, I hope Amanda is doing great and she continues to do great. She absolutely has a place on this platform if she continues on the straight and narrow. That's what I'm hoping for her. I'm hoping that she's gotten to that place of safety and security. But I'll be watching in the shadows. So, everybody, please hug your loved ones because tomorrow isn't promised. Please make sure you give yourself 15 minutes of care a day. And if not, do 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And if all you can manage out of your day is 1 minute, get a candle, turn the light off, close the door to the bathroom, lock the door, close your eyes, and just have quiet for a minute. You have no idea how much that will change your life. I appreciate you. You guys are the reason why I get up at 6:30 in the morning and do this. Please have a wonderful and safe weekend. And I will either see you in the streets or I will see you Monday morning. For those of you who have subscribed, I will see you Sunday night at 7 p.m. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys too very much. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Thank you. I'm out. But what, Mac girl? Oh, okay, maybe she left. All right. I'm out.